What, are we live? Are we live? Of course we are live. What's going on, people? Welcome back to the channel. It is another evening of awesome football talk. And it's a big weekend, and I'm joined with an esteemed guest tonight. Don't worry, the other guest is dropping in later. Bram will be coming, but lateness is greatness. But allow me to introduce to our special guest. He is back again. He is a football coach. He is a personal trader. He is a jack of all trades. He is a master of all. And not only that, he is a media personality. Catch him on the Expresso Show chatting Champions League. Dylan, my bro, how are you saying, my bro? You good? Did I lose him? Yo, D, are you there, bro? Gee was after that entire intro, it looks like we lost him. I guess we're going to have to do it again from all over, people. But nonetheless, welcome. You know what to do. Like, share, hype, subscribe, join the link. Dylan's link to his Instagram is in the description of this video. But without further ado, there is no other place to start. And what else can I say? We have to start at Wembley, which is where the Arsenal did their job. And I'm not going to lie, happy days, happy days. And we qualified. Just give me 2 minutes quickly, people. Let me just check on Dylan quickly. Okay, he's coming back. But yes, people, Arsenal securing their first cup final since 2020. It's our first time. The last time we went to a final, it was COVID time, so there wasn't really fans in the crowd. And what can I say? It was a cagey game, but let's be in all fairness, Arsenal did their job in the first leg by securing a 3-2 win at Stamford Bridge. I'm not going to lie. What I did love was a man who I have slated many a time on this channel, plenty of times already before, Kai Havertz, but it couldn't have been scripted any better for Kai Havertz to come on, score the winner, to take us to Wembley. And what I loved the best was him pointing at the badge. So it was a great game. Dylan, are you back, my bro? Do we have you? D? What's this guy? Can this guy hear me? Yo.
Can you hear me?
Loud and clear, my bro. What you saying? I did that entire intro, and now you just dropped out. You left me. I can hear you, bro. Can you hear me? Oh, mate. I can hear you, champ. Can you hear me? I can hear you. This guy's just sitting back, chilling and smiling and laughing at me. D, can you hear me?
I'm back. Sorry, guys. Sorry for the hiccups.
Oh, my Lord. I thought I was chatting to myself.
I'm back like United.
I did that entire fucking intro, and you just left me in the lurk.
Sorry, I don't know. I lost the thing there.
No, it's okay, my bro. It's okay. I gave you a nice
intro. You can do it again if you need to.
No. It's okay. I don't want to bore you. But again, people, like I said, he is a personal trainer. He's a football coach. He's a media personality. I've had the pleasure of sitting with him on the Expresso Show couch. The one, the only Dylan Peterson. You know what to do. His link to his Instagram is in the description of this video. So do all that good stuff. Like, hype, share, subscribe. Dylan, how are you, my brother?
All good and you, brothers. Nice seeing you again. Thanks for having me.
Likewise, all good, man. So I was just touching on the Arsenal-Chelsea semi-final in the weekend. Look, of course, we got to the semi-final. I think it was a bit of a trap game, but what I wanted to ask is yourself as a football coach, were you a bit disappointed in Chelsea's style of play? Because I know in hindsight you could say that I understood what Rosinha wanted to do is contain for a bit and then bring on Cole Palmer and Estevao. If it works, we say it's a stroke of genius, but obviously it didn't work. What was your take on it?
I think, first of all, your best players got to play. If you want to win football matches, your best players got to play. Whether they play 45 minutes, whether they play 90 minutes, because they are the players that's going to give you the gears going forward, first of all. And secondly, they are going to maintain the game for you. So you're not always promised when these players come on to get them in the rhythm immediately. Cole Palmer, he's a guy. If he's on the ball, he's on the ball. He makes things happen. So players like him, you got to have consistently playing, because those are the guys who pull the string in the team. And you can't. And if you disrupt their football a bit too much, you don't get the full gears from them. So I think what Liam was trying is to get a different philosophy, get a more direct approach, which is probably part of his philosophy. You can see it's when they go on the counter, it's fast. It's not flashy, it's basic. Play the first pass, your first pass, the best pass, and we go from there. I think with Cole Palmer brings a different dimension. You know, if you go against a team that's not pressing, a team that's not going to give you any room, that's okay. A team is going to give you room. Sorry, I should say. And you're going to have your Cole Palmer come there, who's going to get a lot of space in the pockets. But these, knowing with Arsenal, they play with a holding midfield, Declan Rice, who on the ball is amazing. I think he's the best at the moment in doing that, on and off the ball, the passing. So in terms of that side of the gameplay, I think that's where Chelsea lacked last night, getting someone on the ball, because they were losing it a lot going forward, and I think they wanted to get in the final pass. And also what Arsenal did quite clever was overload. They knew Garnacho was going to run the ball, and again, as United supporter, I put down my hand. He's a good player, but for me, he won't be a 90-minute player. Garnacho is the type of player you want to bring in terms of, the last 15-20 minutes. If you need energy, if you need extra gear, your left back or your right back is tired, now you bring him on, have a go at him. But again, different strokes for different oaks, and it's I think Liam Rosner just went for a different approach last night.
No, Fizz. I'm not gonna lie, I was very disappointed. Because look, obviously we all know the euphoria of a late goal. I mean, you've experienced it last week when Sesko scored the Fulham one. I was disappointed because, in the sense that you would think that being at the end of the day, the onus wasn't on us to attack them. They had to attack us because they were behind after the first leg. So I'd expected them to come out with something more. But I mean, he's playing
Agree.
And I mean, Nkapie ate him alive the whole game, and I thought he was my person. I gave it to Declan Rice, but I was just disappointed. But how far do you think the Chelsea team can go? Don't get me wrong, I like what I'm seeing from Rostinho. I just feel that he's giving me a bit of Amorim vibes and think that he's talking too much in the media. I don't know how you feel about it.
Yeah, look, always when there's new coaches coming in, he want to bring his own setup, he want to bring his own philosophy, he want to bring his own tactical approach in terms of. But the most important part is if you look at Arne Slot, who was quite clever in the beginning when Jurgen Klopp left. He didn't change too much. First of all, he stuck with a couple of things. The guys were playing regular, guys were in form. He made use of them. So I think with Liam Rosner, it's a bit of a too soon, I would say. Because I mean, he's playing players who's playing now who's never played in 2-3 months for football is in the starting 11. So obviously with that comes a bit of adaptation. These guys obviously need to then. With a new coach, for somewhat benefit because who hasn't played now, right? This is an opportunity for me to adjust to this coach's new setup. For those who have been playing before Enzo left, they've been accustomed to a system. So getting that to gel together. I mean, you see this with Man City. I mean, now that the centre back is injured, Nathan Ake stepped in against United, and you could see like out of tune. The team chemistry would change. So yeah, I think it's going to take some time, but. I don't know if in this day and age, as a coach, if you have time, So definitely, there's like I said, he's looking for players who's direct. There's no look at Garnacho. I was attacking down the wingers. Every time the ball comes to him, he's gonna take players on. And obviously that became a lot of predictable for Arsenal.
Not true. How far do you think Arsenal can go this season? From outside of the I must thank you. I'm not gonna lie.
100%.
I'm not gonna lie. I haven't put out a show since you guys beat us, but obviously I don't like the sound of my own voice, so I wanted to get it from a United fans.
No, 100%. I agree with you. Arsenal, to be honest, everything. Now that they're competing on every level, the Carabao Cup, the Champions League, the Premier League, They I think they can go all the way. This might come as a shock as it was a surprise to you. I think it looks like the treble. They can get a treble this season if you You know what I mean? What
No,
do you
no, bro,
mean?
I'm not that greedy. Bro, I'm not that greedy. I always said you give me a Carabao Cup first and foremost, and then you give me a league, I'm happy. I'm okay with that.
Yeah, all right, but to me, the way they are playing football, I think they can go all the way. I think they can wrap up the league within the next month if things go
Probably
well for
will.
them, you know. So I mean, the league was 6 points now.
Six, it
Chelsea's
can
got
go
big.
to nine.
Well, you got Liverpool and City this weekend. I mean,
Mm.
if City gets a knock this weekend, I mean, it's therefore for Arsenal to be taking. So yeah, Champions League. They know football. They're playing good football. They haven't been tested. I would say Arsenal has been tested yet. They've obviously with momentum going their way. So the big test is still to come for them in terms of the Champions League. But in terms of the league, yeah, they can go all the way. I mean, it's, like I said, if City get a knock this season, that's something you guys can use now going forward because I mean I think you guys still got a couple of big games going, two more. I think you got
No, we only have two left. Only
hold
two.
on, two left.
Only City and the
City
Etihad
and
and
Etihad, yeah,
Tottenham. City at the Etihad and
yeah,
Tottenham at White at their
yeah,
ground and Chelsea at
yeah.
home. That's it.
So, but that's later. That's later. I think that's more
Mm.
later. I think March
Yeah,
time. So
that's March.
there's
It's
quite a couple
right.
of points to
March.
be collected in this period. So
Mm.
and City's got Liverpool this weekend, and then they got the derby again, the United derby in I think just checking in Feb, beginning of March. I'm just checking where that is. So yeah, Chelsea, it's under the belt. It's there for them. It's there for them to be taken. I watched them over the weekend. Yeah, they just look good. They just look good.
Yeah. Look, you
Yeah.
mentioned the style of play, and as a coach, look, there's been a lot of murmurings around the boring style of football. I mean, Paul Scholes said on one podcast that if we win the league, we'll be the worst champions to win the league, basically, because we're not that pleasing on the eye. As a coach yourself, how do you see it? Because from my side, as an Arsenal fan, our games are boring because we're going to face more low blocks in the Premier League.
Mhm.
I put it down to simply because teams are scared of us because once you attack us, you get an open game. I mean, you only have to look at
Mhm.
United and Arsenal a few weeks ago because United wasn't
Mhm.
scared to attack us, and that's what you
Mhm.
got goals
Mhm.
galore. And if you look at in the Champions League, when teams play their style of play, you get a more open game. But
Mhm.
how do you see it from an outsider perspective and from a coach's perspective as well?
Look, the boring part is for me. It comes down more to being what's the word? Being more um, protecting your lead. For example, if you look at the way they set up now, they don't want to concede because that can also be a downfall. You know, with goal difference, you look not to concede unnecessary goals. So I think Arteta is quite smart in doing so. In terms of the boring football comes with discipline. The boring football comes with structure. I mean, Man City's played boring football for the past few years, tiki taka, and it's won in titles. So I think it's also what works now currently because things have changed for them as well. And also, he's obviously have to use different players now because the season has gone now to the second round, and players are fatiguing. He's got to manage the squad. So sometimes he has to ask certain players to do certain things, and that might look boring on the eye. Which is we're not going to always going to get the same from a left back who's going to be bombing up and down, which is exciting, taking on players.
Mm.
We're going to get a midfield player who's going to play safe, or a midfield player. So I think it's more to keep the team together in terms of not being um, careless, not being because this is a critical time of the season. So
Ah,
so
fair.
boarding, it's quite a boarding is quite a method um, to be used in the right way. But I
Mm.
wouldn't say it's boring. I think I'd say more it's a type of um, style now that helps them understand where they are at the moment and
Mm.
also keeps every player on the toes. Like when you're playing that type of football, it's everybody's be on the same wavelength. When we're moving on off the ball, when the ball's going forward, when the ball, where to shift in which zones to play in. So, yeah, I think it's different opinions for different people, but it comes down to what Arteta's trying to achieve with this team, and that's obviously he wants to go and compete with the league. But I do see them playing certain games where there'll be exciting football, like against Chelsea. There was exciting football last 15 minutes. Um, but definitely, it's something that works. If something works, why do you want to change? So obviously,
Exactly.
Arteta's got a bigger picture in mind. Yeah.
Now, look, for me personally, I don't care because I've seen us play exciting football under Wenger and end the season with nothing. So I personally don't care. Like I said to everybody beforehand already, I'm not here for your entertainment. If you want ass and entertainment, hit Mavericks. I'm not here for your entertainment. At the end of the day, I want to win trophies. But let's chat a bit more about City. So we faced them in the final at Wembley, but I don't know how you feel. Look like Drew to Spurs and Bram will come on and jump on this later. There's been a lot of complaining out of the City camp for me. There was Rodri last week complaining about the goal that Solanke scored. Now, don't get me wrong. I thought it was a foul, but I mean, have a bit of self-awareness, Rodri. You should have been sent off in the game itself. And I mean, a few years ago, there was the Rodri handball, there was the Kovacic against us, and everyone. We all have been on the end of shit refereeing decisions because of VAR, right?
100%.
We can
100%.
agree. We can agree on that. We all know they are shit. Then there was Pep complaining about Gay not being able to play in the final. Look, we all know the rules around being cup tied. There's a rule in place. He's saying, why could Semenyo play, but Gay can't play? The rule is there for a reason. The rule states you have to sign the player before the first leg of the semi-final. They signed Gay after the first leg of the semi-final.
Afterwards, yeah. Yes,
Exactly.
yes.
And now he's complaining about where the Wembley is being played, and he's saying we have to go to London. They have to travel to London for us. We just take a bus. And I'm like, you get things that Pep might be a bit rattled, or do you think this could be his last year?
Yeah, there's big speculation about doing his last year and him moving him on. I think in terms of, look, at the end of the day, what he's doing is also protecting his players. Take the pressure off them, take the line out of them, because they
Exactly. It's also mind games. I also think it's mind games.
So it's mind games, psychologically, it's mind games, and in terms of him wanting his players to stay focused on the football and not deal with unnecessary. So it's kind of telling the players, listen, I'm protecting you, stay away from the social media, focus on football, let's keep chasing. So the complaining is really, Pep, he's been long in the game. So it's like, again, it could be a tactic to throw people off their guard, especially, but Arteta's obviously been under him. So he understands what the playbook of Pep Guardiola brings. So, and then also in terms of, they've been a bit out of form lately. So I think that's also something he uses to keep, like I said, keep the players on the toes, and at the same time making players aware that, listen, you got to step up your game. You can't protect players all the time, and it's obviously calling out the team to make sure that if they want to continue their success and be consistent in what they're doing and show why they are champions, these are the things he's got to use to manage a squad.
No, Fez, couldn't agree with you more. And they've got a big game on the weekend, like you've mentioned before. They travel to Anfield. I think Pep has only won there once, which was in the COVID time as well. Big weekend. I see Liverpool smashing them up. I would love Liverpool to smash them. I could see at least Liverpool getting 2 goals. Havertz and Ekitike on form. How do you see it going, my bro?
Yeah, that Liverpool attack with Ekitike now. It's good to see him start though. Different player, hungry, and again, man management with on his slot. Keep players hungry. I don't know if you watched him again over the weekend. He just looked like a different animal. He wanted every ball, he ran after every ball, and he's finishing. Oof. Listen, I always say, as a coach, I always say, if a player has technique, you can't tell me anything. I don't want to hear anything. Because technique is number one in the game of football, or I guess in any sport, but obviously would be coaching football. And that's also one thing I focus a lot in developing players deep in football, is that technique leads, performance follows. That's my go-to. There's nothing you can't persuade me about. Even if you give me 2 million rand, technique is technique. Whether you are receiving the ball, whether you're passing the ball, and also his movement is quite. Quality, and he's been scoring goals. I mean, he's brought the goals for Liverpool. So I definitely think there's goals going to be. I think Liverpool can grab a smash and grab. In terms of where they're at on the high now. And also, I think Klopp is realizing now, look, it's now time to get players. That's players that has been rested well, has been bringing the goals, which is quite surprising. He hasn't started Ekitike since he's been banging goals. I mean, since he started playing.
I think they got a good partnership going though, Iketika and Verts. And I know a lot of people were talking about the whole double 14, double
Yeah,
014,
yes,
0014,
yeah,
whatever. But for me
yeah,
personally,
yeah.
we all knew Verts had that quality in him, and they formed quite a good partnership as well.
Correct. And also, people are giving this Verts a hard time, but they must understand is he comes from a different system where he's been,
Mm.
he's been only playing one position, and he was the guy. Everything goes through Verts. Whether whether he's playing in number 10 or midfield, well, mostly he's playing in the midfield. Everything went through him at the team where he was playing. So on and off the ball, he was free, he could float. When it comes to Liverpool, it's a bit of a structure telling him, listen, this is a different style now of playing, facing your back towards the opposition goal, receiving and turning. And with the Premier League being so fast, it requires a different aspect of the player to adjust to these things. And also,
Just of course.
he's quite a 100%. I mean, if the ball's on the move, plays on the move. If you can't play, if you can't play with one touch in the Premier League, you should be playing there. So, I think for him to find his feet and to um, to continue what he's doing, I think the way his styles play will definitely suit what he wants to accomplish in this team. Because obviously it's a different coach, different philosophy. What he wants to do off the ball, obviously he doesn't do much because obviously he's used to playing. So mental shift in his game will also be a big thing for him.
No, look, Fizz, again, like one thing that you mentioned, which I like I've said this over and over. Look, if you look at it, for me, there was always going to be teething problems at Liverpool. Given because at the sense that, yes, people can say Slot won it with a Klopp team, yes, but look at it like this. He had to
Yeah, yeah,
redo his entire back line. Ekatike came in, he had to find form. Liverpool haven't played with a number 10, but now you can see now that Verts and Ekatike are finding their feet. And
finding each
I
other. Yes,
heard an
yes.
interesting stat the other day that they are Gerard and they are the youngest pairing, the youngest scoring, highest pairing since Gerard and
Pairing.
Michael
Yeah,
Owen
yeah.
come in. So I mean, credit to them.
Yes, yes.
I
Yeah,
hope they,
that's
I
yeah.
hope they fucking smash it there, honestly.
Yeah, look, players always come around second of the season. So, like you said, that's a combination. On a slot found now is it's hey, listen, oh look at this, I'm finding something that's going to work for me. So that's definitely probably going to see a bit more this in the second half of the season, and I think like you're saying, the confidence is there for them to go forward now. They've been given the license or they've been given the gears by Slot. I said, well, probably will be given that more of saying, listen, the two of you, you've done well for us. Give them another opportunity, get them playing again. But obviously, it depends on certain teams and the way they want to attack teams and where they want to go. So, um, yeah, I think you'll definitely see more of that this season in terms of Verts and Ekatike. Liverpool, Mo Salah's been a bit quiet, so hopefully he
Mm.
can also pull a bit of, since he's come back from AFCON and maybe his mental shift still needs to happen, or I don't know. But he'll definitely obviously try and get into that combination with Ekatike. And I'd like to see if Isak returns, I'd like to see him return because I think if Isak gets fit in time, or if he is fit and hopefully he
Mm.
recovers, which I don't know, which is sure. Him up front, Ekatike on the wing. I mean, that combination, that with Verts behind him, that's
Yeah.
feeding scheme all day, boy.
Yeah. It's interesting that you mentioned that because that's a perfect segue because that top four race is looking very interesting. I think there's only 2 points between you guys, splitting Liverpool, Chelsea, and United. Let's chat about Manchester United. What have you made of the how do I put it the new renaissance under Carrick? Look, I'll give my 2 cents, and obviously you know your team better, but I know my team. For me
Mm,
personally, I always say at the time that we played you, if you that had to be an Amorim team, it would have been a different story. I think that's a caveat. It's 100%
completely.
bank. That's a banker, but there is a time and a place to play a team. I always say, and we got you guys at the wrong time. And what I like about Carrick is he's not playing square pegs in round holes. He's playing the players in their proper positions. He's playing Dorgo as a wing, as a further forward. He's playing Cunha. He's playing Bruno further forward. Mainu coming back in next to Casemiro. Ahmad on the one side and Boema up front to run you tired. Then comes on Cisco. But what have you made it, bro?
Um, perfect time for us to hit the ground running again. I think if you look at Michael Carrick, the biggest word I would say is man management. Um, I always say, you can't like Ruben Amorim was trying to change players. It's like Alonso being at Real Madrid. Sometimes you just gotta some players suit certain ways of playing, and if they're known one way, you can't change. I would say you can't change players in a year or two. There's a big cycle in doing that. So if you look at the 3-5-2 or the 3-5-3 was playing, obviously it was isolating a lot of players that hasn't played in that system before. So I think also now with Michael Carrick taking over, we're more positive with certain players understanding where they need to be. With Ruben Amorim 3-5-2 is quite difficult because with the back three, who's going to shift in? Look at Casemiro, it looks like a different baller. On and off the ball, I don't know when last I saw a Casemiro running like that. Putting in the work and making tackles, 50-50 challenges, tackling guys who's twice as young as him. So I think it's become down to man management first, making players understand, listen, this is your game and I need you to play to the best of your ability. Today you're going to play for 30 minutes, give us your all. And I think it's also making players aware of where they stand. With Ruben Amorim, we never had a starting 11 because every week the team is changing. Again, nothing against him. That's just his way of coaching. That's his way of going about his business. But you got to find players with combination of a left-footed player or right-footed player. Like for example, Martinez stepping in with Maguire. We got a right-footed player, because obviously in the angles you can play is quicker. You can shift the ball quicker, receiving the ball different way, 100%. So those are the smaller things I think that's been tuned. And thirdly, obviously, making players aware that you're either in or you're out. You're either with us or not. If you're playing, you give us 100%. And also, you made players feel like their energy need to match the squad. So improve the individual, and then obviously the individual improves the team. So yeah, a lot of positives. And I think in terms of training, we're taking more risks. Because in football, you have to take risks. You can't be playing back passes sideways, and also we with the vertical pass lanes going through the lines. I think we're catching teams up quite quickly with the speed. So again, using players in the right areas, in the right moments, when to bring this one on, when to bring that one on. With the Sesko example, he knew that Sesko got good movement. And a lot of people say, yeah, Sesko, 80 million striker, this and that. If you understand football, you understand why he brings him on. Throwing players, he's good in the air. I mean, the header he got, he just came on his first touch, boom. So I think with him being the coach, you obviously want to allow players to do their thing and work with them on the training ground. I think that's the other thing, is work with players on training ground, making sure that when off the ball, who's going where and when to be, when the ball is moving on the right hand side, when it's going down the wing. So yeah, a lot of small changes that made big effects in the game of United.
Fairs. Welcome, Bram. You came at the right time. We're mostly talking about Manchester United Spurs.
Hey guys.
How are you, my bro?
First I want to apologize.
No stress. Lateness is greatness, my bro. Love for joining. You actually came in at the right time. What have you made of United's renaissance under Michael Carrick?
Yeah, firstly, it's our first time I think we've had a pod this year as a compliment of the season to everybody.
No, it's the first time you on. It's the first time you on.
First time I've been on. First time
you on. Don't put us in that bracket.
Sorry, but it's first time. So yeah, to everybody. Dylan, hi. How's it going, buddy? You well?
Good and you, Bram. Nice seeing you, brother. You well?
Good. Can't complain.
Okay,
Look for United. Yeah, I think I like Michael Carrick just personally as player person, and I'm happy that he's doing well. No. I was always a fan of him as a player. Even when he left Spurs and he went to United, he was always someone that I enjoyed watching play. So I think it's good for football, man. That United and I think United deserve the plaudits that they are getting. They were under heavy criticism under Amorim, and what I like is it goes to show that you can. We can't always say that a team is a bunch of poor players. You sometimes find that different coaches, different ideas, different voice, different energy brings out something different in players. And I think Michael Carrick is he's young, first of all, right? He's got that new energy that players respond to. I can't say that I haven't heard a lot about him as a coach, but I used to watch Middlesbrough when he was coach at Middlesbrough, a couple of games on the Friday night, and you could see the type of football that they played. They were quite a front foot team. So, yeah, now with United, what's happening is all of a sudden they're not bad players, right? They're not bad players. They're playing well. They're playing on the front foot. And we see modern football today, any team that plays on the front foot, you're always going to be open at some point. You always, because of the risk factor, the extra man joining in attack means somewhere there's space vacated. One misplaced pass, and then you're on the retreat to go and win the ball back. So, yeah, I know people are still saying, yeah, but United is still fairly open, blah, blah, blah. But all of a sudden, even when they're open and teams are attacking, that back four is holding their own. They're keeping the ball out. They're holding their own. David, Arsenal's a prime example. You can go through Arsenal's midfield at ease, right?
You can.
But that back four of Arsenal,
it's the reason why
they defend for their lives. They defend with intelligence. They defend for their lives. When the one makes a mistake, the other one is there to cover. The other one covers. I don't think I've seen Saliba make so many mistakes in the past 2-3 years than what I've seen him this season, right? But Gabriel, 2 years ago, we were always saying Gabriel is the sort of the backup to Saliba. I think the role is reversed now.
Yeah.
Gabriel is the main man now.
He's the leader. He's the leader now.
He's the main man. He's the main man at Arsenal. So not to deflect. So with United now, they're defending like a proper defensive unit. They've got a good goalkeeper. So they deserve to be where they are. We just got to give them credit. They've shut a lot of people up. So well done to them, man.
Fairs couldn't agree with you more. And like you touched on, I think Dee touched on it as well. Like they've got quality players that can hurt you. So once you have quality players that can hurt you, all it takes is one moment. Football is about moments, in my opinion. So, but let's touch on a Spurs fans' perspective. You know what you're facing on Saturday at 2:00. I know, I can tell by the name already. I'm gonna get more of the same Bram, as positive as you were at the start. But I'm not gonna lie. I've liked what I've seen from Spurs in the second half. For me, it was almost like they were saying, you know what, we don't want you sack Frank in the second half because you could have won the game against City. But what have you made of it, and how are you feeling about Saturday's game, bro?
Saturday coming. Again, I'll take the draw, and I'll be over the moon. Spurs have been. So we went through a period. We started off well. Right, started first pretty decent. Went through, or we're still going through a very tough period, bad period, playing bad football. But in the last I'd say the last month, maybe results haven't gone our way, but performances have improved. They're actually starting to create. Xavi Simons is coming into his own, week by week. And I think Spurs are slowly going to get to where he's going to get the time to actually, get this team to gel. I don't know. I mean, every game is just one game away from getting the sack, right? I don't know. Maybe my personal opinion is I think they should keep him till the end of the season, purely because there's nobody that will come to Spurs at this stage unless it's an out of contract coach. Somebody doesn't have a job.
My thing is, you've had all the top name coaches already. You had Mourinho, you had Conte, you had everyone. You had everyone already. What's the point in sacking him? That's my thing.
And time, man. You need to give time, because I think I said to you, Debbie, a few weeks ago, and I said it to Ahmed. Arteta for me is the last coach for a long time now that's going to be given more than 2 to 3 years.
Yeah, exactly. I can guarantee you, if there were fans in that stadium at that time, I can guarantee you Arteta would have gotten the sack. I think he was lucky that there weren't fans in the stadium at the time and it was COVID.
Yeah, I think like nobody's, even with players, people's on Jokeres' case, it's the guy's first season. Sesko, everybody was on his case. United wasted their money, blah, blah, blah. It's his first season. Thomas Frank was getting away with this type of performance. I was thinking about this a week ago. If he was at Brentford and they were in the same position, but they ended the season 3 places higher, it was okay for him. Job safe. They held their status of being a Premier League club. Cool, they'll be fine. They're fine. The tough thing for him is he's come to a club that just won a European trophy. First game is in the Super Cup. He was minutes away from winning a trophy within his first game. Second game of the season, beats Man City. And all of a sudden there was expectations, Spurs fans were expecting, right now we're going to, finish in the top 4, blah, blah, blah. Forgetting that, listen, this guy started the first 10, 15 games without his main striker and his 2 most creative players, Kulusevski, Maddison, and Solanke.
Yeah, you guys have had fair injuries. I think you have 10 players out right now.
Yeah, but they got injured afterwards. So we're talking about the first 10 games of the season. He didn't have those players. They brought in youngsters, fairly young. Xavi Simons is fairly young. So for him, he had to take time to adjust. Havertz was getting criticism. They need time to adjust. They come from leagues where it wasn't as aggressive. It wasn't as intense football. Now they're in leagues where, and people expected them to they needed to set the world alight from game 1. So I think for him, there's no patience. The players, there's no patience. Not just Spurs players, but all most big name signings, guys that are coming for big money. There's no patience. Sesko, I like the guy. I think he's a very good player. He was getting criticism. People were writing him off. People wrote Xerxes off last year after 10, 15 games.
I mean, let's be honest, Bram. How many of the signings have actually been a success? I can only think of Ekatike. Voltemada started well, and he also dipped off.
You know what I mean?
Can you name a player for me that's besides Ekatike? I can't think of one.
Anybody that has come in and set the world alight. That Mane kid at Wolves, I think he could potentially be a good player. But I think there's just no time. Football doesn't have time anymore. If you're a new coach, you must start winning from game 1. Players, they must all of a sudden.
But they were in the league already, so
they were in the league already, so they're accustomed to it. They adjusted to it. They're just doing what they did at other clubs. So yeah, for me, like I said, if we can take a point on Saturday, I'll be happy. I can't see us winning the game. It's gonna take a strong performance from us. United's on a high. United are very attack-minded these days, so.
Fizz. D, how do you see it going, my bro? Look, I personally think Spurs will just attack. They got nothing to lose. How do you see it going?
Yeah.
I think them scoring goals over the weekend, they show they can be a class team and they can be a team that hurt you. Obviously, but again, City with a lackluster performance in the second half just created that a bit of. And again, like Bram said, when your football is positive, when your football is it's bring a change to the way you want to approach the game. I think that's definitely something that we could see again this weekend. So again, as a United supporter, and following them, I wouldn't get too excited about 3 games. I mean, it's 3 games. I know it's good result. It's top teams. I wonder if this hype would have been if it's any other team, top team, other opposition. So, like I said, for my character arrive at this time to beat top teams, the script couldn't be written any better. But I think over the weekend, I think a positive result will be great for us. And like I said, you can't write Spurs off. That clearly showed over the weekend with City. So yeah, I think it's going to be a good game. Definitely looking for Spurs to come and play in certain patches with the way they set up against City in the second half. So yeah, that's just something we got to be quite aware of. And I think Mark Carrick is obviously doing his homework in terms of what they can expect this weekend at Old Trafford. But again, we're on the high, so they obviously will push for something positive.
Just to play a bit of devil's advocate, they got a good record against you guys in the few recent years, right, Dylan?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's correct. That's correct.
They got a
Few
good
smashing
record.
grabs.
They got a good record against you. But okay, enough of the dilly-dallying. Let's start. Let's start with the predictions first. Before we come into your game, Arsenal Sunderland predictions. Quick. Dylan or Bram, go first.
Arsenal Sunderland.
No.
Yeah, you can go first.
Yeah.
I'm going for 2-1 Sunderland. Sorry, 2-1 Arsenal. Apologies, 2-1 Arsenal.
Dylan?
To be honest, I'm going to go quite a decent score there. So we're looking at I'll go 3-1. 3-1 Arsenal.
Yeah. I'm also going 2-0. I'm leaning towards that. Liverpool City, Bram?
2-2 draw.
Wow, fierce. Dylan?
2-1 Liverpool.
2-1. I'm going 2-0 Liverpool. Why 2-all, Bram?
I'm going to tell you why I say 2-all. Liverpool, for me, they're starting to find their feet attacking wise again, right? But I think at the beginning of the season, one of our very first pods that we had early on in the season, and it was the night where we did.
I like it too.
When we went on about the squads, the squad depth and the squad strength of Arsenal versus Liverpool. Remember the time we said it's between those two to win the league, and we spoke. Ty was on about Liverpool's lack of depth at the back, in midfield, and I just think that with Szoboszlai, it's like they try to find anywhere they can put him, be it the right back, be it being as a 6, being in the 10 role. It's just they don't have for this season the personnel to go on and attack to try and win the league. And I think that City sort of blow hot and cold, but I think in games like this, City stand up and they come out and they play. But I think Liverpool has the ability to hurt them. I don't think Liverpool has the ability to beat them right now in this current time. And I also think that City, same as Liverpool. I know City beat Newcastle last night. The game was over in 20 minutes.
Also, bro, man. City
they very cagey, and then like when they have the ball, they don't know what to do with it. It's like they just don't have that killer instinct in them anymore. So I think they will defend. Liverpool will not want to lose. So I'm going with 2-2.
Fair, say no more. Saying that we all three here, how do you guys see top 4 going? Because I'm going to play a bit of devil's advocate here. If Bournemouth beat Aston Villa, United win, United are right up there, but it's a 2-point swing between separating Liverpool and United. So let's say right now, who gets that 4th spot? If I have to press the two of you right now, at this moment, right now.
United for me.
Who gets the 4th spot? Yeah,
Who gets the 4th spot?
The 4th spot, I'll probably go for United if the way we're getting on and obviously all goes well. 4th spot is probably something where we'll push towards now, because I think that's in Michael Carrick's eye, because he's also wanted to push to get the job. So, I mean, you can hear the man, he's in love with the club, and he really wants in there. I mean, Casemiro, the guys are speaking highly of him. It's quite nice to hear he can still ping passes in it. I mean, if players are... I mean, every player they interviewed this week or last week or when he's arrived, it's just positive stuff. So obviously, that also plays a mental game in obviously getting these guys to run the brick wall. So yeah, it looks good for now. So we can look at top 4 and all goes well.
Fairs. You mentioned Casemiro. I wanted to ask you this. Losing him at the end of the season is going to be a massive loss. Mm-hmm. Who do you think is the perfect player to come in there, realistically?
Phew, what a question. Obviously, you're looking at someone who's going to be more dynamic. You got a Bruno, you've got a
I personally wouldn't
You
slot
got
Bruno in there.
Bruno.
I would leave Bruno right there where
No,
he
no,
is. You don't
I'm
go.
saying in terms of obviously to fit in with the Bruno, the Kobe Mainu, you know, you need someone who's
But
still got a bit of experience. Like
let's say, Dylan. Let's say I am Sir Jim Ratcliffe. I give you 100 million in the
you
summer.
give me 100 million, I'll go
Mm.
get Paul Pogba again. No, joking. 100 million. Whew. Yeah, Fabian Ruiz, what a sexy player. From
I like him. I like him as well.
But sorry, what was the
Fabian
question,
Ruiz,
David?
yeah.
Fabian Ruiz, I like him. Tonali is another shout as well. Who would you, if, say, for example, Bram, if you are whoever the next coach at Manchester United is going to be, we know it's not going to be Carrick, but again, stranger things have happened. If you are coach at United and I give you 100 million to replace Casemiro, Brad has mentioned a buy from the Prem. I'm assuming you might go Baleba. Maybe Tonali is another good shot as well. Who would you go for, realistically?
To replace Casemiro. Adam Wharton at Palace.
I like that as well.
I generally rate that boy as one of the best players in the Premier League. I think if he was anywhere else, we'd be raving about him. If he was a Spaniard with a single barrel name, we'd be raving about this boy. I honestly think that, the Barcelona kid that Ahmed goes on about. I do think Adam
Pedri.
Wharton's better. Yeah, I think
Pedri.
Adam Wharton's a better player.
Better than
Right?
Pedri.
Yeah.
What?
You remember, Debbie, you got to remember. Okay, let me justify my answer. Let me justify my answer quickly.
Yes, please.
Adam Wharton is playing with. Look at the players he's playing with and around. Right? Look at the players. Okay. Put Pedri in Crystal Palace's team. Would be a rave about him. We'd say he's good.
Okay, now let's flip the question.
Hold up.
Okay.
If you put Adam Wharton in that team, right? And every week he gives you a 7 out of 10, but Barcelona keeps winning. Rafinha scoring, Lamal scoring. When he passes the ball, he doesn't lose it. All of a sudden, you look at him in a different light. Right? So if you put him in a better team, it's the same as the comparison Scholes or Gerrard. Could Scholes do for Liverpool what Gerrard did for Liverpool?
No.
But would Gerrard have taken United or extended their period post Ferguson? Gerrard would have still been Gerrard. Gerrard would have. Do you understand? So it's the same as if you put Pedri in Crystal Palace, does he make them? That's why I think Cunha deserves his flowers. What he did at Wolves, he's still doing it for United, right? Yes, he's selfish. Yes, there's times when I think he needs to not think that he is the savior of Man United when he plays.
Okay,
right?
But now just a caveat on that. If you put Haaland in Crystal Palace, do you think he's going to get so many goals based on that logic? You see?
Not as many, but he'll still be one of the top goal scorers because they do create a hell of a lot of chances for Mteta. He just doesn't have the speed. So he probably won't score 30 goals, but he'll still get 15 to 20 with the chances that they create because it's just the way he's the dynamic of him. Right?
I don't know.
But we're talking about different positions. We're talking about completely different positions and different outputs. Pedri and Adam Wharton, I think Adam Wharton is the better player.
Nah, bro, come on. Nah, I'm not having that. And you're saying this without Barcelona fans nogal on the channel to defend their guy, no?
Whether they were here or not. You see, it's easy, David, to defend him. Right?
Bro, come on.
Listen.
If you had to tell me Adam Wharton over Anderson at Forest, I could have that, but not over Pedri, bro. Come on.
Davey, it's easy to defend something when your team is constantly winning and is playing in a clutter of stars. Right? Then it's easy. Okay? Did he have a great game against Newcastle?
Pedri?
Yes.
No, of course not. But how many midfielders have a great game against that midfield, bro? Think about it. Think about it.
Exactly.
Okay.
Do you think Adam Morton would be out of place in the Champions League if he went to Chelsea? Would he start?
Yes, he would.
He wouldn't start at you. I'm not going to use you as an example because Eze doesn't even start for you. So I'm not going to use Arsenal as an example.
Yeah, don't. Let's not go there.
Would he start for Liverpool?
Gravenberch,
Yes.
McAllister. Yes, he would.
Yes, he would. Spurs is out of the question. He would start.
Okay, but then what you're going to do with Szoboszlai? You're telling me he's going to start over Szoboszlai? Dylan, are you still with us, bro? I can't see you.
I'm here.
But I can't see you.
Hey?
You would play them together.
We can't see you, Dylan. We lost your camera, bro.
What the... Now?
Nah, jump out and jump back in. We can't see your camera. We just see a black screen. Or is it just me, Bram? Can you also see a black screen by Dylan?
Black screen, yeah. There's no picture. So
Bram Dylan is allowed to.
but
okay. So
but you understand what I'm saying?
I know what I don't get me wrong.
Any of the English clubs, right, barring Arsenal, he would start. All the English clubs playing in the Premier League at the moment.
There we go. Yeah,
he would start. I'm not judging him. You see, Khalib always talks nonsense. I'm not judging him on one game. What I'm saying is that game was a benchmark of the physicalities of the Premier League. Would he be the top player that he is 36 out of 38 games for Barcelona? Put Adam Morton in the Spanish league in that Barcelona team.
I'm not with that now, Bram. Because now what you're saying is then, are you telling me England are going to pick Adam Morton then? Based on that logic then, for the World Cup?
He will go to the World Cup, but he won't start.
Why
because
not?
the English
so who's the three that's going to start over him then?
Let me answer you. The English mentality all the years to young talent, they won't risk it. They would rather play safe. Spain, Brazil, Germany would rather play Adam Morton if he was Brazilian, Spanish, or German, or the Netherlands, because they have no fear of a youngster. England would rather be conservative.
Okay.
And rather bring him on. England did that. England, and I'm an England fan. England did that.
That's why I'm asking you. You are tactical commit. Who's your three? Or how are you playing then at the World Cup?
Me.
Yeah, you are the manager of England.
So we're playing for what? 4-5-1.
No, you pick. You're the manager. How would you play? You England manager. So my into that team.
Declan Rice, Adam Morton, and I would go with Morgan Rogers. I think he deserves it.
Okay, then what do you do with Jude?
Only because with Jude bench.
You put Jude Bellingham on the bench?
Yes.
Nah, no. Okay,
but listen. You asked me my opinion.
That's your
me why, and I'll tell you why. For me, good player must go to the World Cup, no doubt about it. Who has been more consistent for their team, more effective, and between Rodgers and him, Morgan Rogers has been more effective.
Morgan Rogers hands down. Yeah, Morgan Rogers
right?
been on.
Morgan Rogers is not carrying an injury. Bellingham is carrying an injury. So if the World Cup started tomorrow, are we going to play Bellingham on his name, or are you going to play Rodgers? Because listen here, you fit. You've done exceptionally well for Aston Villa, but you two are fighting it out for that third position. Declan Rice picks himself for being one of the best, and I would go with Adam Morton because of the fact of his technical ability on the ball. He can adjust to being defensive, and he can also, from attacking perspective, we don't see how influential he is in Palace's attacking side, because you know what? He plays one-touch football. But we always used to see Eze on the end of the ball, Olise on the end of the ball.
I'm going to come back to you in the World Cup. I'm going to come back to this one.
You can, but he's probably
Um,
not. Debbie,
I've made a note
okay.
of it here, actually.
Debbie,
54
listen.
minutes.
Debbie,
54 minutes. I've
listen.
made a note of this. I'm going to come back to
Debbie,
you with this one.
okay. How influential before the Euros was Cole Palmer for Chelsea?
Extremely influential, but the injuries derailed him.
Yeah, but how often did he play for England in that tournament?
Well, he came
Minimal.
on and he done his. Yeah, he didn't play.
He
But
came,
he
yes,
came on
he
and
came.
he done his job.
Exactly. He came on minimal. He should have started. Right? You should have given more game time. So what I'm saying is England's how they see young players is very different. You know, it's very different. Unless you're a striker, unless you're Owen or a Rooney, or Kane, they're very different. But when you're a midfielder or a defender, they're very, if pragmatic is the right word, in Brazil, 18, 17, 18, and you are doing the business for your club, you're playing.
You're
Spain,
playing, yeah.
you are playing. Right? England, whoa. Hang on. We don't want to lose the battle in midfield. We'll bring you on. You understand?
Yeah.
So if you, that's just the difference. That is just for me the difference.
Yes, don't worry. Don't worry. I'll come back to that. But Dylan is just sitting there with his popcorn enjoying this conversation.
He's gonna play.
Listen, do yourselves a favor. Go and watch Fabian Ruiz play.
Yeah.
Watch that man play.
Yeah, it's
that
brilliant.
Man is like. He's
that
like
man,
I'm going to tell you why the reason why I picked him to replace Casemiro. So if you look at Kobe, he's a very versatile player. So he can play holding, he can play 10, right? He's good in turning with the ball. Where Fabian Ruiz comes into play is that when we attack with a 4-3-3, for example, he can join a Bruno, he can join a Boimo, he can join a Ahmad, he can join a Sesko, whatever the case may be. Second is, off the ball, he's so patient in positional play, which is like Casemiro. So Casemiro's a player, he doesn't tackle, he waits for you. He's on the move, always on the move. So with Adam Wharton, no problem. He's a good player, but for that system, like Bram has been saying, he's good to fit there compared to a current United squad of. If you look at it, when the ball's shifting, where do you find Harry Maguire? If there's space in front of the centre backs, who's stepping in? I mean, great. Adam Wharton, don't take anything away from him. Great player. So for me, it's like where does he go? You know, he's off the ball. He's not very mobile. You know, he plays more from in the pockets. So giving extra gear going forward, I think Fabian Ruiz would be a better option. But again, Adam Wharton, quality player, fitting the system for his team. But again, Fabian Ruiz on the defense, on the attack, box to box. Yeah, I think that guy. I watched him for Spain. Yes.
Yeah.
You know, it's just he fits a system where on and off the ball play is very adaptational. You know what I mean? If I'm making sense. Look at the Casemiro when they have the ball against Arsenal. I mean, players when opposition had the ball, players didn't see him come tackling him or sneaking up on him, or whatever the case may be. So yeah, that's just something I think that ticks both boxes in terms of Casemiro. And Fabian Ruiz, obviously we don't have to talk about Fabian Ruiz passing. He can score goals, he can hit them, he can cross them.
Goals, he can shoot them.
So yeah, maybe not hit a ball. I haven't seen him hit a ball much because obviously in Spain the ball's never in the air; it's always on the floor.
The ball is
part of that. So yeah, Fabian Ruiz is with Fatinha. Yes.
Yeah, I'll have a killer midfield. Man of the week, gentlemen. Man of the week. Bram, I'll start with you. Man of the week. Oh, wait, can I give my man of the week while you think of it? Yeah, my man of the week is Adama Traore. That's my man of the week. The way my man just dashed Cucurella one side and then Pedro went to go push him and they said, "What? Are you crazy? What are we doing here?"
You couldn't pick the perfect man. What? It's like you. It's like in the gym, you know, on the rower or like I don't know. Drop sets, boom, get out the way. You know what I mean? So it's like throwing a weight plate of your bar or whatever you loaded onto the leg press machine, like drop sets, go, boom.
Man of the week for me.
Yeah, no.
Man of the week for me is Adama Traore. Bram, who's your man of the week?
I think I'm going to have to go with you on that. I think that was what most football fans.
I'm surprised the guy didn't smash it against the board, eh? Yo,
Yo,
yes, he flew
I
it.
think how
did
many
you see
football
Pedro's
fans,
face, man?
how
Did you see
many,
Pedro's face? The look of fear.
how many football fans out there have been wanting to see that for Cucurella? That happened to him. Even the other night in the semi-final when Tumba pulled his hair just for the sake of
Yeah,
it. He was
yeah,
going
Oh,
for
yeah, yeah.
Tumba
yo,
pulled his
he gets
hair.
bullied, man. He really
Um,
gets bullied, you.
yeah, I think he invites it on himself.
Yeah,
So
yeah. I agree with Bram. I agree.
I just
Yeah.
love the fact that that happened. It couldn't happen to a nicer player. Um, but yeah, I'm gonna say Traore for the sake of it. But honestly, for me, man of the week for me, Kobe Maino. You know, really proving
Yeah.
wrong. Um, reminding people that he actually does have the qualities. As beyond that is the fact that when United were looking to satisfy Amarim, and I was nothing against Amarim, it's just the scenario of how it played out and what
Mhm.
was happening at the time. It suited United to please Amarim to get rid of him, to send him out on loan somewhere. And he just said, listen, I'm not going anywhere. I'm gonna knuckle down and I'm gonna prove it and I'm gonna wait my time. I don't know, maybe someone whispered in his ear, listen, this guy's on the verge of getting the chop, but
Yeah.
it happened and the guy got the chop and Gary came in obviously true United people know Kobe Maino's qualities.
Mm.
Uh,
Mm.
plays him and look there now, different player. Like you said, the energy is lifted in the team. And it probably just needed a different voice. So yeah, he's a fantastic player. Um, I just want to come on to just before we go, just on that thing about Carrick. You know, will he get the job or not? Um, there was an outside chance that if they were going to sack Thomas Frank, Robbie Keane was highlighted to former first player to take the job, but obviously they wanted to do the same as what they did with Carrick, which was interim, just for the end of the season, because he's done pretty well with Ferran Severos, the team that he's
Mm.
Mm.
Yeah.
coaching over there, and he didn't want the job on interim basis because the difference is Carrick was out of work. He was in the coach anyway. So it suited Carrick 6 months. Like it's like a how do you call it? Not a pro audition. He was auditioning for the
Mm.
job. But he knows, look, there's more likely United will get somebody else permanently. But if he
But you
does well,
remember
there's
Carrick's been a coach before, no? Carrick has been a coach
yeah.
before.
So there's a 50-50 chance that he's going to get it. So I understand Robbie Keane because Frank was going to get the sack. They were going to replace him with Robbie Keane, but Keane didn't want to give up a permanent job for something where
It's
Him.
whether I
interim.
do well or not, you're not going to keep me on. You've already got looks like they've got Pochettino lined up after the World Cup. Pochettino's not going to stay at the USA. So it looks like
Nah,
he's
well,
to take over. So I don't disagree with him not taking over, but it would have been nice to have had somebody like Robbie Keane taking over at Spurs. But yeah, I would have liked to have seen that. Give us
um,
more attacking style of football.
Fairs. Let's see what happens. I still say keep it with Thomas Frank. He's a silver member. He's a
Yeah, you
Gunners fan.
gotta give him time and give the guy time and look, it can't get any worse as long as we don't get relegated. Give him a full season. Give him a full season. Debbie, we are flirting with relegation. we're
Yeah,
not
you
too
are.
we're not good. We're not too good to go down.
Yeah.
So, but what I do disagree with when some pundits say Spurs' squad is not good enough. We've got a decent squad that should be challenging for position 4 to 8. I think
Mm.
we could challenge for fourth place with the right coach at the helm. But I think with these players that we've got some decent players. The back two, the Meyer and Van der Ven is proper
Very
decent.
solid.
I think Archie Gray has really stepped up as a backup. I think Polinia, we should tie the deal down. He's been a revelation, but whether he actually would
Done
stay.
well at centre back last week, eh?
Yeah, I think so. I
Mm.
think we've got some good players. Conor Gallagher now, I think, is a good addition to our
Gallagher.
side. And then we've got Madison Kulusevski coming back, Solanke.
Madison is always injured. Let's not count him. Write him
Yeah,
off.
he's off dead. half dead. But no, man, I think Spurs have got a decent squad. Just get the right coaching. Maresca.
Maresca's there.
He's off to Man City next year.
Yeah, he wants Man City. I think
one of the
Listen, these guys all know. These guys all know the ins and outs about what's Pep leaving next year. I mean, Pep going to the German job. All these guys, so they know exactly what's happening. They just wait to pound on their chance.
Fairs. Dylan, who's your man of the week, my brother? You didn't give me your man of the week. Are you also going with me?
Man of the week, Casemiro.
Fairs. So a lot of United love in here. It's crazy. Flop of the week, Governor.
Yo.
Flop of the week.
I'm going Rosinha.
Can I say West Ham for being 2-0 up at Chelsea and losing 3-2?
You wouldn't expect anything. Is that even a surprise, though?
Nah, David, that was the first time they played well in the entire season, and to throw it away like that when Chelsea was there for the taking. West Ham. I actually don't want to see West Ham go down. Really, I don't. But they look hell bent that it's gonna happen.
They can go. They can go. For me, they can go. Dylan, your flop of the week, my bro.
I'm gonna go with Brown.
West Ham as well.
West Ham as well, sir.
Yeah.
West Ham as well.
Yeah,
but don't be surprised if they can pull it out the bag and survive.
Yeah, I feel they
could. That is a good shot. I like this one. City. I like City being the flop, actually. I like that shot.
Why? No, man. That's
2-0 up against you. You'd expect them to win you after 2-0 up. They win,
like you always say, I think for us, it's a fact that we Spurs. That's the one team where Spurs have this mentality of we're gonna win. We're gonna win. We're not gonna lose. We don't lose
every year.
You know,
Anchor.
And I think they creep into the shell playing us.
You're the
for some strange reason. And hopefully, do you know what? Hopefully, United for the past few years, only the 1 year where remember when Ronaldo was there, they beat us 3-0. He scored that cracker from outside the box.
Mm-hmm.
United also sort of creep into the shell when they play Spurs lately. They error ridden in the game. They lots of anxious football that they play. Who knows? Maybe we pull off a miracle on Saturday.
They should have beaten you guys. They were 1-0 up and cruising in the return fixture, and then you guys just scored 2 goals out of nowhere, and then the luck scored at the end.
That's because we played Ruben Amorim ball.
Yeah, we played the Amorim ball.
That system play was like, you want to go, everybody go for everybody. So I think this weekend will be a different ball game.
Nah, fierce. But final thoughts, Dylan, your final thoughts, my bro. It's been an awesome show. Time actually flew. Let the people know where they can find you.
Yeah, guys, I'm on Instagram. It's called DP Football. I got my own setup there. We're developing football players, working with amateurs and pro footballers. Currently, all the pro footballers are still in season now. They had a bit of a break, so they're back after their break. And now we go into the amateurs, the pickies and the youth setup. So yeah, as you can find me, you can find some nice, for those who coach, there's some nice passing drills there. Some nice football content that you can use in your own setup wherever you are, and hopefully you can enjoy.
I love it. And like I said again, people, link to DP Football is in the description of this video. I've already followed him on Insta. So, yeah. Kav, your final thoughts?
Now, look, we're getting out to the exciting times of the Premier League. I think position 1 and 2. I think if City really want to have a serious challenge for the league title, when do you play them?
April only. It's done this weekend. I'm telling you, it's done.
Yeah.
It's done
if they flop this weekend, then I think that's done dusted.
I'm telling you, it's done this weekend.
I think Pep knows that. You could see after the game, he was like, he held his head in his hands. He knew So
I think like for me, like I was gonna say was, this Sunday is it writes the script of where the league title is going to go, and I think we're going to be in for an exciting finish for the remainder of the Champions League places. United is going to be that excitement. You know,
I know you can see someone looking in the background, but
yeah, I know, I know. Their fans, their fans are piping up again. They're all over social media. It's crazy. It's
what
crazy.
is it with every rival fan I talk about? They're always mentioning the Arsenal fans. What is it with
Talking
the
about
Arsenal?
United, I never said Arsenal fans. I said United
Oh,
fans.
United. Oh, sorry, my bad.
United fans. So they're all over the place now. They're all on your status, and you look at everyone. It's just glory days, videos and stuff. Blah blah blah. Yeah, but it's good. It's good. That it makes it exciting. Will Chelsea hold on to the Champions League spot? And in the Champions League itself, those are the things that is going to be. It's an exciting period of football coming up now.
Mm.
This is the period now where it's exciting.
Fairs couldn't agree with you more. But what an awesome show, gentlemen. Once again, I can't thank you guys enough for availing yourself. It's been a brilliant show. Big up to everyone in the comments. Again, like I always say, I ask the questions. The people in the comments make the show, and of course, my esteemed guests. So on that note, it's DVD, it's Dylan, it's Bram. Like, hype, share, subscribe, and we are out of here. Bless.